Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. This is Naaman with the DC Camp, branch of Great Millstone, back for another video. First and foremost, call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem Dash. And of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, Rubel. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, alright, that constantly upload videos that go throughout the four corners, that heed and pushing the truth, getting out there in order to wake up the remaining hope for the elect. Hey, because let's face it, time grows short, as these prophecies have always dictated. Alright, so here we have, again, a prime example of Psalm 64 and 8. Right? It says, and the apostles have always said this, and those on down, elders and bishops and elders. Hey, this white woman is spilling the beans. Right? She's giving her man up. At this point, it's so obvious. And this goes, and especially now since this Charlie Kirk fiasco. The guy just went from campus to campus, to spout his bullshit, his propaganda. And it's all kinds of irony there as to how he was taken out, if he was taken out. Hey, serves him right. All right, because they were just blatant, all blatant, all right, lies. We're going to get into that. And what she's going to tell you here is, without directly saying it, that it's complete opposite. You gotta understand, Jake has been a scapegoat here in America, to be a distraction, all right, from them, all right, which this, again, the FBI statistics and all of it, even on the state level, whatever have you, all right, it's amazing how Jake is used as a pawn and like I said, a scapegoat in this society. Everyone comes over here from all over, all right, and they jump on that bandwagon against Jake. And Jake has had enough. We've been the buffer group for all these nations, so they don't feel the wrath of these Edomites, but they're feeling it now. At least the Northern Kingdom for the most part. Alright, let's go ahead and run this video.
White America, you have a serious problem. I want you to take a look at this white woman who runs through the list of all of the terrors and terrorists that are responsible for a lot of the mass shootings and bombings and what have you in those United States of America. Take a look.
This is the man who shot Trump. This is the man who killed Melissa Hortman. This is the man who tried to kill John Hoffman. This is the man who tried to kill Paul Pelosi. This is the man who killed an Obama-appointed judge's son. This is the man who hired hitmen to kill Democrats. This is the man who ran over a left-wing activist and killed.
Now you see the little inset there in green? It says Edomite men are responsible for 90% of the destruction that's taking place around the world. Not Jake. As ridiculous and retarded as they act, not Jake.
This is the man responsible for the Austin bombing. This is the man who sent pipe bombs to Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton. This is the man who shot Gabby Gifford. This is the man who tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, and this man. And this man. And this man. This man. This man. This man. This man. This man. And this man. This is the man who set Josh Shapiro's house on fire. This is the Oklahoma bomber. This is his accomplice. These are just a few of the men who beat police officers on January 6th. I can think of a few things they have in common, and it's not the way they use their words or their left-wing politics. Two, killed 10 black people in a Buffalo grocery store. His motive was, quote, to prevent the elimination of the white race. The El Paso.
Well, you don't have that kind of power. That's going to happen regardless. Hey, I can just give you the Book of Obadiah by itself. That's a brief one chapter, not even that really, 18 verses. History of you devils. All right. And verse 18 tells you you're going to be gathered up and eliminated because there'd be no further use for you. You were set up to be the wicked in the earth. Job 9:24. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked, which you are. Malachi 1st chapter, verses 1 through 4, which is what was being quoted in Romans 9th chapter. All right, Paul there. Verse 13. Not verse 13. But that's what was being referenced there.
So Walmart shooter, he shot 45 people, man. Killing 23. He thought he was acting at the request of President Trump to stop the invasion. He also cited the Great Replacement theory. The neo-Schmatzi who killed 9 people at a black church because...
It's going to happen with Great Replacement theory. These people are so paranoid because they know they've done so much wickedness. This is what's called, what he's doing also. I've said this several times. This is... Right. In psychology, it's known as projection. Right? Let's see. There we go. It's a psychological projection as a defense mechanism. Remember I said they know they've done so much wickedness in the earth, especially against our people. All right? A defense mechanism where an individual, or collectively, in this case as a people, unconsciously attribute their own undesirable feelings, thoughts, or traits onto another person or people. This is done to avoid confronting those feelings within themselves. Wow. Wow. How about that?
He, quote, had to do something. This is the Pittsburgh synagogue shooter. His motive was to stop white genocide. This was the Oregon shooter, released on a manifesto where he went on a lengthy rant about black men. The Dollar General shooter, his motive was a hatred for black people. Despite previously being involuntarily committed, he was still able to legally purchase the weapon.
Being involuntarily committed to the nut house, yet he was still able to legally purchase a firearm. Let that sink in.
Florida. This is the Oxford school shooter. His parents gave him a 9mm for an early Christmas gift when he was 15 years old. They were so excited they just couldn't wait till Christmas. This is the FedEx shooter.
That's that blessing. Now, I would encourage you to read Genesis 25th chapter. All right, but this hatred it really goes back to Genesis 3rd chapter, right, and 4th chapter. But we pick up here where the actual Genesis 25, where you have it first recorded, where actual people that you know to be so-called white people, they are the nation of Edom. They're by definition, they are red. All right, the blood shows through that translucent skin of theirs. It's really grotesque. But since things are flipped on their head here in this society, in this world, as a matter of fact, right? Because they are hideous. They are hideous people to look at. All right, but that has somehow become the standard of beauty. All right, that everybody tries to imitate. That shows you how fucked up this world is. Okay. Oh boy, hold on. Yeah, this is an ancient hatred. Right? This is the way it was set up. one against another. All right, where you have love, you have to have hate. It's Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter, and you have Sirach 33rd chapter, starting around 10 and 11. Good is set against evil. All right, we have to have, all right, in fact, let's go to Isaiah 45. All right, this is how this is set up. And it's the Most High doing all this, not Satan. All right, he works. All right, that is how he was, what he was created for. Yeah, okay. All right, he does things at the behest of the Most High. That's what he was created for. He says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, do all these things. There you go. These things are set in opposition against each other, as he tells you in Sirach, 33rd chapter. All right? So these people have to play their part. They have to play their part, excuse me. And they've done it to perfection. Got to give them a hand. They've been the perfect devils. All right? But again, and let's go back to Genesis. Let's go to 27. Let's go down to see where, okay, and I encourage you to read this, because in some Bibles it will have Jacob steals the blessing, or the blessing. All right, and I almost said birthright, because that's also called into question by some. But when you get down to here, the birth of Esau and Jacob, and then you get down here, Esau sells his birthright. Now you can read that for yourself, right? That's what he did. He sold it. He didn't, it wasn't stolen. And for here, birthright, I mean, the blessing, all right? Rebecca instructed Jacob to do this in order to get the blessing. And he brings it up, all right? Because he was going to pretend to be him. So, because at this point, Jacob's eyes were, you know, I mean, Isaac's eyes were, you know, bad. And he really did things at this point by touch. And this is what's talked about here. He says, and Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, another characteristic of these devils. And I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver. And I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. That's what he sees. So he was worried about this. But here's what his mother said, Rebekah. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, and my son only obey my voice and go fetch me them, meaning the kids, right? So that's what he did. And of course, he came back, and Isaac had questions, but as he could not see, he fell for the deception and therefore blessed Jacob. But what people don't understand, even if that was the case, and the curse did not fall on the mother, still, it could have been corrected, but it wasn't. Why? Because this is what it was supposed to be from the beginning. This is the way it was supposed to be. So now we get down here to 38, and this is where he gets the blessing that he got. So Isaac tells him, he says, Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. You'll have all the best of everything, the land, everything. And does this not apply to the so-called white man? But how was he able to get it? All right, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword. And this is, what do they call it? It doesn't actually mean a sword, but his blessing is, you know, warfare, weaponry, all of that, the art of all of that. All right, it's parabolic speak. That's what I was trying to say. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And they did that when they rose up and established the Greek Empire, first Macedon and then the Greeks. All right, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob, which he has been doing ever since. And of course, this also goes back further when you understand Genesis 3rd chapter and 4th chapter. It was not a snake, it was a man. These are these spirits coming back here. All right. Cain and Abel. All right. Esau and Jacob, respectively. So here we go.
Shooter, police found that he was viewing not like propaganda online and that he wanted to demonstrate his masculinity. The man went on a shooting spree in Atlanta, killed 8 people, 6 of whom were Asian women. This was the Dayton mass shooter, shot 17 people, killing 9, including his sister, who previously suspended from school for having hit lists and rape lists. The Santa Fe school shooter, one of his victims rejected his romantic advances. This was the Thousand Oaks shooting, this is the Parkland shooter, Sutherland Springs shooter, Las Vegas shooter, the Sandy Hook shooter, this is the Aurora Theater shooter. He had an obsession with killing and chose the weapon that would allow for the maximum amount of casualties. These, of course, are the Columbine shooters. The Chardon school shooter, who was upset that his ex-girlfriend had a new boyfriend. The Georgia school shooter, he is not transgender, no matter how many right-wing AI-generated memes tell you so. Father gave him an AR for Christmas when he was 14.
Do you see a trend? Do you see how they all look? Do you see the color of all of them? Do you see that none of those people are black? You have a serious problem. But what I don't understand is that why is there so little outrage for all of these mass shootings that have happened at schools, at grocery stores, in public areas, street festivals, nightclubs, the list goes on, movie theaters. Why isn't there so much outrage? We know that if it was black people and that list was black people, do you think that somebody can just sit there and call them all out and there wouldn't be any sort of outrage? There wouldn't be some kind of maximum amount of some sort of hate legislation, something would have been implemented to make sure that we black people are taken care of, okay? But
And understanding, what she's saying, I'm just so sick of that descriptor there as far as black. No one's black, no one's white. All right, that's some psychological bullshit, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard to me at this point. But let's play their game. All right. What the hell am I doing? Oh, okay. Hold on. Got that stuff there. All right, like I said, let's play their game. All right. 61% of Israeli men, Israeli over there in the Holy Land, which is not now, refers to a specific study conducted by Tel Hai Academic College in 2011. According to the study, 61% of Israeli men do not consider forcing sex on an acquaintance as rape. This statistic has been widely discussed and referenced in various contexts, including on social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, where it has been used to comment on cultural attitudes towards sexual consent in Israel. However, it's crucial to approach such statistics with caution. Really? Why? Is it because it's them folks? All right. Yeah, they're going to say the study might not be representative of the entire population. How about the entire people? Not just them, but the whole nation, whether they call themselves German, Danish, Italian, Australian, British, American. They're all the same people. All right. And they said, although this was, I'm trying to find it, all right, because they're trying to, you know how they are. They're trying to lessen the blow, so to speak. Let's see, let's find it. Let's see. All right, let's try this one because they say yeah, there it is right there. Dadgummit, I don't know where I missed it. Let's see. All right. Come on. Here it is. They say, damn it. Let's get the other one because I think they got this thing where you have to pay or some shit. All right, here it is. They said, as bad as that was, but 61% of the men, all right, look how many women. So like I said, this is the whole nation. This is why they are called the wicked. Don't. Damn, I hate all this shit. Come on. All right. It says, and even more astoundingly, 41% of women didn't think forced sex with an acquaintance was rape. How many times have the elder apostle, especially elder apostle Tahar, had made mention of the, how am I going to phrase this? The number one sexual fantasy of women is to be raped. See? All right, let's go back.
But we're seeing this happen all the time. Like, I feel like every time I turn on the news or look at my phone, there's a mass shooting somewhere. And for the most part, it is the folks. Now, I'm not going to discount the fact that there is a lot of black on black crime, indeed. But according to statistics, when it comes to the United States in general, 90% of these crimes against the people in the United States are committed by white men. So, again, I say, there's a serious problem in white America. So while you're over there in Arkansas building a compound, which I think is great, you might want to look at what's going on with your people. And also, don't ask black people to step in. Don't ask for our help. We've got a lot going on in our own community. That includes some of those mass shooters who targeted our community because of that delusional great replacement theory that's going on in their minds. So we're very, very busy taking care of our stuff. So I don't want to see any more of the folks going on camera and asking black people to step in and help, okay? Just want to put that out there as well. You have a serious problem. So your governments, your governors, your mayors, your president, everybody needs to look at this problem because, number one, we don't want any more of that going on against us in our community. That's the first thing. And then secondly, we don't want to be involved. So when you people take out you people, please don't come and issue threats against HBCU schools and threaten to bomb our schools and threaten the black people's lives. We have nothing to do with it. Keep us out of that. That's you people and your problem. Okay? So stop threatening black people and black institutions and black establishments. We don't have anything.
See, that's these, more importantly, that's these curses that were put on us, right, being transferred to them folks. All right, this is Deuteronomy 30 and 7. All right, and it says, and the Most High Yahweh thy God, not everybody else's, will put all these curses upon thine enemies, of which Edom is the chief. All right, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Right, and it tells you that down in Psalms 83rd chapter. All right, the hit list. I was going to say something else, but all right, and these people that are involved in the conspiracy, and that's what this is. All right, you can read this for yourself, but to save time. All right, all right. I'll start at 3. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, which they have, and consulted against thy hidden ones. All these think tanks, even the UN, all these nations, we don't have any representatives there. The EU, the NATO, all that. They have said, come and let us cut them off. Cut who? From being a nation, that the name of Israel, Yasharallah, may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted, whoops, skipped again. Like I said, this thing is sensitive. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, everybody. And what do we have here? Lo and behold, verse 6. The so-called white man is number 1. Number 2, the so-called Arab, Ishmaelites. 3, Moab, aka China, and the Hagarenes. Look at that, Cabal. Now, Cabal, I believe, at this time when this was written, there was a contingent of Edomites living there. So, okay, anyway, and Ammon, which is what? Your so-called Japanese of today. And Amalek, right? A grandson of Esau, all right? Jacob's brother. So, there you go. Those are our enemies. And a few more I didn't mention, but the main ones, all right? So they all join together. And they, to this day, whatever's going wrong amongst them, they make it a point to somehow come together when it comes to us. It's done kick me off again. God dog it. Salakia. What the hell is going on? All right, well, I can wrap it up with this. I think that everything else is in the buffer, so it's continuing.
Anything to do with it. We're busy either resting, minding our black business, or taking care of black business for our people. Okay? So you worry about your problems and your people that are out here running amok. That's my message for today. Family, let me know what you think about this list. Drop your comments in the chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content. Until next time, I shall see you again. Until then, please be.
So let's go to crime statistics. 2024. All right. So this is recent. Crap. I need the other thing. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it. I need the, I think this is in table 43. Here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. All right. Murder and non-negligent manslaughter. All right. We got Jake the lead there by like less than 500. All right. And usually this is black on black, like to say. Rape. What do we have here? Wow. 7,000 count difference there. White. Robbery, of course. Again, these are crimes that Jake mainly commits in their own hood. So Jake got him there by about 3,500. I mean, not 35. Yeah, around 35, something like that. Aggravated assault. Oh my goodness. Look at here. 91,000 as opposed to 169,000 for the white man. Burglary. Look at there. Larceny. Fucking double. Motor vehicle theft. Again. Look at this. Arson. Ooh, violent crime. They say we're so violent. Impulse control, all that shit, right? Look at that. By like 80,000. All right. Property crime. More than double. They have a lead on us. Look at that. Other assaults. Again, more than double. 219,000 as compared to 455,000. Forgery and counterfeiting. Now this is where they shine. Shit like this. All right. 9,668 versus 21,537. Fraud. More than double again. Embezzlement. 3,500 as opposed to 5,900. Stolen property. Buying, receiving, possession. 21,000. I might as well say 22,000 as opposed to 38,000. All right. Vandalism. Again. Damn. Well over double. All right. Weapons carrying. Possessing. Although we get to stop and frisk. Look at here. 45,530. Not to say that Jake, you know, hey, some of this Jake brings on himself. All right. Let's just face it. But to hear them tell it, we're the only ones that are doing it. 45,500 as opposed to 60,000. All right. Almost 500. Prostitution and commercialized vice. All right. 8,370 as opposed to 1074. Sex offenses except rape and prostitution. 5,903 as opposed to 21,360. Uh-oh. Another one that we're supposed to outshine everybody in, according to, if you believe the news, drug abuse violations. 274,670 to what? 748,874. Wow, triple, right? Gambling. Offenses against the family and children. Uh-oh. More than double again. All right. Driving under the influence. God dang. Look at this. 90,888. And they have 526,928. Liquor law. 17,077. 85,356. I see they're just good at hiding it. You know, they're functional alcoholics, all at work. Drunkenness. Again, look at this. 5 times. 32,255, 164,797. Disorderly conduct. You know, somebody talk that shit. I'll just, you know, make a PDF of this, however you want to download it and copy it, and just have it with you, you know, in case you have one of these Charlie Kirk wannabes, you know. Look at this. More than double again. Vagrancy. All other offenses except traffic. Look at this. 577,689 compared to 1,532,998. Suspicion. 257 to 1,008. Curfew and loitering law violations. Even that, they're more than double. Look at this shit. And yet, clearly you see how they've lied on Jake. How they've made Jake the face of crime. Alright. This is 2019. This is another one they like to use. That's why I went back to this one, because they like to make reference to this one for some reason. I guess it's the first three that I mentioned. Alright. But they fail to tell you with that, it's mostly in-house. Alright, which again goes back to them. You know, they like to, what I mentioned about projection. Yeah, the call is coming from inside the house. Alright. They're hoping you don't read, and let's face it, a lot of Jake don't. But a lot of their people fall for the propagandist bullshit, and that's all it is. Alright, they're going over only these HBCUs trying to imitate Charlie Kirk. And so far, Jake has handled it pretty well. Alright. So that's going to be it for this. This is just one of these things where, you know, the truth is coming out in these people. They can't stand it. So again, what do they always fall back on? Blaming us. And people see right through it. And also these other nations that Jake has been a shield for while over here, because all the attention has been put on us. All right, now they're catching hell. All right. Hey, so with that, I hope whoever views this, that's going to be it for the video here. I hope whoever views this has been edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. And once again, I'd like to remind you, especially with what's going on now, as an example of this very video, you've got these people out there. Be very careful. All right, where you go, remain circumspect, like I always say at the end of my videos, and I'm very serious about that. All right, keep that head on a swivel. All right, until the next video, shalom.